All right, let's get right into it. If you're anywhere near the tech world, you've heard the buzz. It's all AI all the time, especially in test automation. But what if I told you the next huge breakthrough isn't about piling on more AI? What if it's about fixing something that's been broken for a long, long time? And boom, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? It completely cuts through all that hype. The argument here is that the real problem for quality assurance teams today, it's not that they don't have powerful tech. Oh no. The problem is that all this amazing tech has just created one giant tangled mess. And that right there is the key. It's not a capability problem. We've got tools that can do some truly mind-blowing things, but only by themselves. The real challenge, the thing that grinds everything to a halt, is just trying to get them to play nice together. It's this endless, frustrating battle with compatibility. So what does that battle actually look like, for the people who are actually in the trenches doing the work every day? Well, it means they're stuck. They're trapped, operating in this really tough, totally fragmented world. And here's the heart of the problem. You've got this great divide. On one side, you have the old guard, right? The legacy frameworks like Selenium. Still powerful, still everywhere. But on the other side, you've got the new kids on the block, these super fast, modern tools like Playwright. And here's the kicker. Teams don't just get to pick one. Nope. They're usually stuck supporting both. And that creates this massive split right down the middle of their entire workflow. And listen, this isn't just some random opinion. This comes straight from Jason Huggins, the guy who created Selenium. Think about that. The inventor of one of the most foundational tools out there sees it clear as day. He knows that teams are caught in the middle, trying to stitch together two completely different generations of technology. Now, being stuck in this hybrid world isn't just, a minor annoyance. It has real, painful costs. It's a flashing red light pointing to a workflow that is fundamentally, deeply broken. I mean, just think about what this means on a practical, day-to-day level. You've got different scripting languages, so now you need different kinds of experts. You're literally maintaining two completely separate pipelines for everything. The person who's a wizard with Selenium can't easily jump in and help the Playwright team, so you get these knowledge silos. And trying to make all these different tools actually talk to each other? Forget about it. It's an absolute integration nightmare. And what's the end result of all this chaos? It's simple, really. Teams end up wasting almost all of their time just wrestling with their own infrastructure. They're fighting the tools instead of doing their actual job, which is making sure the product is high quality. It's just a huge, frustrating waste of talent and energy. Okay, so things are messy. But what if the answer isn't just finding another shiny new tool to throw into the mix? What if we need a whole new philosophy? A totally different way of thinking that lets us sidestep all this chaos completely? So, how in the world do you fix a problem this big? Well, the idea presented here is that the answer is all about unification. Instead of trying to manage all this complexity with even more code and more frameworks, what if you just got rid of the scripting layer, like all of it, and replaced it with a single unified platform? So how does something like that actually work in practice? Let's break it down. First, you have one unified platform that works across your entire tech stack. Old, new, it doesn't matter. And you don't have to write a single line of code. Second, it uses what are called AI-driven locators. Now think of these as a super smart GPS for your application. They find and keep track of buttons and fields, even when developers change things around. That means your tests don't break all the time. Third, you build your tests visually. We're talking simple drag and drop. And finally, when a test does fail, AI actually helps you understand why. It translates those cryptic error logs into plain English, telling you exactly what broke. The tech side of this is obviously pretty cool, but the real impact, the game changer, goes way beyond that. It completely transforms who can actually be involved in making sure your product is great. Just look at this transformation. Before, testing was this highly specialized field, right? You needed dedicated automation engineers who lived and breathed code. But when you take away that coding barrier, suddenly it becomes a team sport. Your product managers, your manual QAs, even your designers can now jump in and help build and run automated tests. And it all boils down to this one really powerful number: 0. 0 scripting you need to learn. 0 complex frameworks you have to fight with. The door is thrown wide open. That barrier to entry, it's just gone. It makes automation something that everyone on the team can actually do. So, look, if you remember just one thing from all of this, let it be this core idea. By getting rid of that complex scripting layer, you free up your team to focus on what to test, the business logic, the user experience. You let the humans do the smart thinking, and you let the AI handle the tricky mechanics of how to actually run the test, no matter the technology. And that really brings us to our final thought here. This shift, away from a fragmented, code-heavy mess toward a unified, scriptless future, it feels kind of inevitable, right? But every team's reality is different. So I want to leave you with a question to chew on. What's the single biggest integration headache your team is dealing with right now? What's that one point of friction that drives everyone crazy? Really think